right, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, TradeCentric Unboxed, Accelerating Value and Growth with Strategic Consulting. As a reminder, you will be on mute throughout the duration of the webinar. You can drop your questions in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, and we will save some time to answer questions at the end of today's session. A recording of the webinar will also be sent on demand. With that, I'll pass it over to Steve Frechette, Chief Product and Technology Officer at TradeCentric, to kick us off.
Thanks, Amanda. So welcome, everybody. We're going to take a quick look at the agenda. Next slide. We're going to go through some introductions really quickly for those of you who are new to joining us. And then Amanda's going to walk through our business consulting services offering, which is the real headline of this past release. And then I'll talk us through a couple security enhancements. And then Amanda will kick us or wrap up again with Q&A at the end. So let's go to the next slide for introductions. So as Amanda mentioned at the top, my name is Steve Frechette. I'm the CPTO, or Chief Product and Technology Officer of TradeCentric. I've been in the industry for well over 25 years. We're not going to say how much over that I've been working, but I've been in e-commerce, both B2C and B2B, analytics and integration. And at TradeCentric, I'm responsible for product engineering and our hosted SaaS solutions. Amanda?
Thanks, Steve. I'm Amanda Mangiello. I'm the Business Enablement Manager at TradeCentric. I've been here for about 3 years now, but before that, I was a customer of TradeCentric on the supply side. So I have been in the eProcurement space a little over 10 years now, and here at TradeCentric, I work with our customers on their strategy and everything business related.
That's awesome, Amanda. So why don't you just go ahead and dive right into business consulting services?
All right. Yeah, I'm super excited about business consulting services. This is something that we've been wanting to do for a long time, and it's finally here. But before I go too far into the details, I want to take a step back and just talk a little bit about why we're here, how we got here. As I mentioned before, I've been here for about 3 years. And in that time, I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of our customers about, what they're struggling with, what they like to see in terms of their growth, their goals. And I've been hearing the same things over and over. We just don't know where to start. We don't know how to scale this program. We see potential, but we're just not sure where to go from here. We've got these live. How do we get our customers to adopt the things we put in place? So in that time, we've been able to offer a little bit of guidance here and there, some advice, some best practices, but we've never really had a full-on program to support our customers on this journey. So taking those themes that we've heard over and over again, we built some packages to help support our customers on this journey that they're on. So I'll talk about them in more detail, but just as an overview, we really tried to focus all of these on the entire eProcurement journey. And what I mean by that is if you're in the discovery phase, if you're just trying to figure out, what does eProcurement mean to my company and how do we go out there and make it work for us? How are we going to design this program? Or if you've already got some connections live and you want to get your ROI up, you want to make sure that people are using them the right way and you've got a full launch plan. So we've developed these 4 packages to really, no matter where you are on your journey, we're there to support you. We have strategy, audit, and design, sales enablement, growth strategy workshops, and buyer engagement. So we'll go ahead and talk about all those a little bit and how we got there. So the first one, this is for our customers who maybe they're just starting out. Maybe they've got, a couple down, but they feel like they have huge potential. They're just not sure how to reach that potential, or they have competitors that they know are doing this and they want to be up there with them. So what we've done is come up with a program where we can sit down with those customers and really say, okay, where are you today? What is your potential? So we'll ask a whole bunch of questions about what is your industry like? What kind of trading partners do you work with? We'll really figure out what that potential is and then help you draw a roadmap on how to get from point A to point B to make sure that you're able to reach all of those goals. So it's a really custom hand-holding process where we go ahead and make sure that you're getting to make the program that's designed in the way you want it to help your eProcurement goals grow. The next one, this is probably the one that I hear the most about and that I talk to our customers the most frequently about. They'll say, okay, my team gets it, right? My eProcurement team understands how big this is, but my internal teams just don't see it yet. My sales teams don't understand how to talk about it, and it's slowing our growth. Maybe they're in a reactive place and they want to start being proactive, but it's a one-person team and they don't know how to go out and talk to all these people by themselves. So what we found is really helpful for them is mobilizing that sales team. The question that I end up asking pretty much everyone I talk to is, okay, on that sales team, what percentage of that team would you say is confident in talking about eProcurement? And I usually hear them say somewhere between 10 and 20% of their team knows what eProcurement is. So if that other 80 to 90% doesn't know about eProcurement, they're probably not going to be bringing it up regularly, and they're probably not going to be bringing those leads to you. So for this one, we've come up with a new package where we will be helping your team go out and create a really custom sales training for your internal teams to get a full grasp on what eProcurement is, why it's important, how to go out and have those conversations with your customers so that they're not just afraid to talk about it because they're afraid they're going to look silly and not know these technical terms. It's to really empower them to go have those conversations, find the right buyers, and bring them to you. The next one that we're going to talk about is for those who are saying, okay, yeah, I've got a couple up and running, but I'm not seeing the ROI that I thought I would. What am I doing wrong? I thought that this was something important for us to do. And what we found when we talked to them and really dive in is they thought it was just an if we build it, they will come situation. They didn't realize that there was any planning that had to be done after go live. So what we'll do here is work with you on coming up with a full go live methodology so that you can say, okay, I went live, I need to do X, Y, and Z and this date around go live to make sure that my customers know what's going on. They know that this is the way to buy from us. They know the benefits of buying from us in this way. And then we can start to see really that ROI. We'll work with them on how to partner with procurement to make sure that procurement is both your partner and your advocate with your end users. We'll work on how to go through portal and analytics and how to use those different things that you find in there to build marketing campaigns. Just a full launch program, really custom, finding what works for you and for your team to make sure that your customers are using these programs that you've put in place. The last one that we'll talk about is buyer engagement. So this one, we've got people saying, okay, I know that I have buyers out there, but I'm just not sure which the right buyers are. I've done a trading partner analysis. I know we've got matches, but I'm not quite sure what to do after that. So in this case, we'll really do a lot of hand holding on your first 5 buyers. And it doesn't have to be the first 5. Maybe you've got 2 live and it's the next 5, whatever it is that works for you. But we'll go out and we'll talk to those buyers with you. We'll be kind of your advocate as you had those conversations. We'll lead the conversations, come up with the right requirements gathering document for you to be asking on kickoff calls, and just a full hand-holding experience as you're going so that you can learn what to do with the next 5. And the next 5, you're going to be the experts going and having those conversations with your buyers. If you're starting out and you feel like, okay, this is overwhelming, I know that we have potential, but I don't know how we're going to do it with the team that we have. We also have something called the Accelerator Program. So this is for companies who are saying, okay, I know that I want to go out and do this. I'm excited to do it. I know we have potential. You can get all of these packages bundled together in the Accelerator Program at a discounted price. And that way you can just have all of your bases covered. We'll be walking you through the whole way to make sure that whatever you want your program to look like will help you get there. Steve, I'll hand it back over to you.
Thanks, Amanda. That was an awesome overview. Also, thank you for your leadership in bringing to life this new set of business consulting services. It's sure to be a strong enabler for many of our customers. So I get to wrap up with something a bit less exciting, but something that we take really seriously, which is security. So let's take a quick look at some of the updates, especially around our new certifications. So in October, we announced our PCI compliant architecture. And that's basically a new service that suppliers can use and where we integrate with your payment providers. And some of the ones that we announced so far were Authorize.net, Card Connect, and Paytrace, but we're adding more as we progress. And the purpose of integrating with those payment providers is to securely what we call tokenize or encrypt PCI data before processing. And this is a really critical component of protecting and ensuring the security of that data. So in Q1 of this year, we just finished our official certification of that environment. The architecture didn't change, so we built it correctly, but we have to go through all the typical audits and steps that we would take to get formally certified through PCI DSS. So that means that we now completely comply with the PCI DSS security standards, and we can ensure transactions, including credit card data, are handled securely. And that matters, obviously, because payment data is some of the most sensitive data that a company like us and you can process. It may seem like a simple checkbox, but it really demonstrates our commitment to maintaining the highest standards of security and protecting sensitive payment data submitted by your customers. So next slide. And this is on a related note. So SOC 2 Type 2 certification. So we've renewed our SOC 2 Type 2 certification, which means that our systems and processes have been audited again and still found to be in compliance with the trust services criteria for security for SOC 2 Type 2 level. Now, what does this matter, or why does this matter? It matters because the security of your data, all data, not just PCI data, is always the first requirement for processing. And this renewal provides you with continuing confidence in us that we handle your data securely and responsibly in accordance with the top industry standards. So again, not as exciting as business consulting services, but something that is foundational to what we do in terms of processing. So I think with that, we're wrapping up and we'll head over to Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve and Amanda, for showcasing all of the wonderful new features in this quarter's product release. So we've got some questions from the audience, so we'll dive right in. The first question is, we are interested in learning more about the new business consulting services. How can we do that? Amanda, I think this one's for you.
Yeah, sure. So the best way is just to reach out to your CSM. Your CSM should have all of the information and they can point you in the right direction of what the next steps would be.
Awesome. And I also just dropped a link in the chat for everybody with some more information on our website if you'd like to learn more. All right, the next question. If I wanted to obtain the SOC 2 Type 2 or PCI documentation, how do I do that? Steve, I think this one's for you.
Similar answer. So if you are a prospect, then ask your sales rep that you're working with in the process, and they will guide you correctly. They'll get and obtain that documentation and provide that to you. If you are already a customer, talk to your CSM and they can do the same.
All righty, next question. The buyer engagement package sounds interesting. What if you help engage my first buyers, but I still need help with additional ones because I don't have the resource / bandwidth internally? So it sounds like they're asking if I buy the buyer engagement package, I do the first 5. What happens if there's more buyers I need help with?
Yeah, good question. So that package was designed to kind of teach you to fish in a way. But that being said, if you say this is really just a resource limitation for me, I did the first 5, but I don't want to fish. I want you to fish for me. You can purchase that package again and we could do the next 5, no problem.
Awesome. All right, we've got another question. It says, where is the line drawn between supporting our integration as part of the overall package and us needing to purchase additional support? Amanda, I think this one's for you.
Okay, so we have a lot of different types of support that this could be referencing. If we're talking about the business consulting specifically, we do definitely have a whole lot of resources available to you that are just included as being a TradeCentric customer. We have trading partner analysis that we'll still do for you, where we can go out and look at your trading partner network, see who we've connected to, help you prioritize that information. We also have a lot of information that's self-service in our knowledge base. So that would be some one-page documents that can help support your sales team. We've got some webinars in there with a lot of great information that's self-service. And then if you've gone through that self-service material and said, I still need extra support, that's where these additional packages would come in to help you out.
Awesome. And we had a question, if I joined late, will a replay be available? Yes. We will be sending out an on-demand recording of the webinar if you would like to rewatch it or catch up. Alrighty, next question. Will you also connect to Stripe and or Balance? Steve, this is probably for you.
Yeah, no, I got it. So we're currently working on a Stripe integration, so that's due soonish. And balance, I'm not sure if that's on the list, but if it's not, we will add it to the list. So again, if you're a customer, then please reach out to your CSM, and they'll talk to us in product, and we'll figure out how to get that scheduled and work with you to make that happen.
Awesome. All right, we've got a few more questions coming in. Thank you to our audience for submitting questions. Please keep them coming. We're happy to answer any questions that you have either today live, or if you can also connect with Steve and Amanda on LinkedIn following the session, and you can reach out to them directly there as well. So next question from our audience: what are some techniques for convincing our customers to get our company moved up on their list of to be onboarded vendors?
Good question. That is a very specific one, I would say, per company. There's a whole bunch of things that you can talk to them about, whether it's about your specific company. I also try to tell people that whatever is important on your regular website is also usually an importance in your punch out. So for example, at a company that I worked for, we had a vast review system on our site that they couldn't get in something like a hosted catalog. So we wanted to push them towards that because there was extra images, data sheets, and protocols they could use, a review site. So I would, recommend that you take a look and think about what's special about what you've built for them in that site and use it. I would say reach out to your CSM, and we can get something on the books where we can strategize with what would work specifically for your company. Because there's a whole lot of different strategies we could use depending on what your relationship is with them.
Awesome. All right, we've got another question. How do you address a scenario where the customer has asked us for punch-out integration and they're still not using it? That seems different from what you described for the growth strategy workshop, and that they came to us first, then we built it.
So I think that would be included in that one that we talked about. It's everything from how do we make sure they're using it, to how do we make sure we're partnering with them correctly? How are we getting the word out? How are we screaming from the rooftops and showing them that this is the channel that they should be going to? So I would say that probably is part of that one. That being said, I would also recommend, similarly to the last question, try to reach out to your CSM and book maybe a 30-minute strategy consultation. And then if you give us a little bit more specific information about the hurdles that you're facing, we can help point you in the right direction of which would be the best solution for you.
Awesome. All right, we have another question that just came in. It says, does TradeCentric have a service to convert PDF invoices into CXML? Steve, this seems like your realm of expertise.
PDF invoices to CXML, not directly. We have some alternative services that we can provide, but through our traditional automation, that's not something we typically do.
All right. Well, those are all of the questions that we have submitted. Thank you again to our audience for submitting those. And again, I've dropped the links to connect with Steve and Amanda on LinkedIn in the chat. So feel free to shoot them a note on LinkedIn if you would like to connect with them. Or alternatively, if you're a customer, feel free to reach out to your CSM for more information on any of the features of the product release that we've covered today. I also want to mention that we have a survey that we'll be sending out post-webinar. So please feel free to give us some feedback on how we can improve for future sessions. And with that, that is all we have for today. So thank you everybody for joining, and have a wonderful rest of your day.